Hello, this is Blue Squirrel Girl, and welcome to MTG Chronicles. I'm going to open packs of Lord of the Rings today because I'm hoping to get some really good cards. And speaking of good cards, I want to tell a story about opening good cards in some of the early sealed tournaments. So here's my disclaimer. The events of this story were told to me by a friend, so I'm not going to get all the specific details right, but the overall arc is still true. My second disclaimer is that, well, not everyone's going to have this experience, but enjoy the tale anyway. The way decks were recorded for sealed tournaments really has changed a lot over 30 years of Magic. When sealed tournaments first began, players were given a pool of cards that they had to register, and they would just turn in their registration sheet and build from that pool. Now, there's always some people who cheat, and it was pretty easy to slip in a card or two that would guarantee at least some match wins. But thanks to people like the late and great Sheldon Menery, judges wanted to find a way to minimize the cheating in sealed tournaments. The first attempt at the system to prevent cheating was to have the tournament organizers and judges pre-register all those cards, put them in a brown paper lunch bag with a registration sheet, and then hand them out to everyone at the tournament randomly. Some sealed PTQs back then would have more than 100 people. I think that's one thing I haven't seen much lately that I really miss. It's these huge tournaments that were centralized where you can meet people from all over the region. Right now, with these RCQs we have and the store championships, it's kind of those same handful of 20 to 50 people. It's still busy and kind of fun, but it's just not that same excitement. Anyway, if you can imagine, trying to pre-register like 100 plus card pools got to be too much for those judges and tournament organizers. So after a while, that not so enjoyable task was given over to the players. Now think about this for a second. You open one or two $30 cards in that card pool, have to register it, then hand it back to get who knows what. Can you guess what happened? If you said you'd drop right there and take your loot, you'd probably be in the majority. I remember these huge tournaments where about a quarter of the people dropped before the first round even started so they could hang on to those chase rares they got. A lot of times those people didn't tell the tournament organizers, so that first round usually took some time to get everyone paired. There was one tournament that a friend of mine attended where a kid sat across from him and opened something really good. I think it was around Ravnica time frame, and it was the Birds of Paradise, which was a lot more expensive back then than it is now. Almost everyone around the table told the kid to drop and to take his card. But, he just really wanted to play. My friend even offered to pay for the next tournament that would start in about an hour so the kid could drop, keep his expensive card, and still get to play. Oh, nice. Nazgul. I'll put that down here. Actually, Earl, you can hold that. So anyway, almost everyone around the table told the kid to drop and to take his card, but he just really, really wanted to play. And my friend even offered to pay for the next tournament that started in about an hour so the kid could drop, keep his expensive card, and still get to play. But the kid, he just really wanted to play because in the end, this is still a game. And that's just a note I want to give to all you collectors and investors out there. Your cards wouldn't be worth anything if this wasn't a game first. So, just a reminder to appreciate the players that give value to your investment. Now, for the rest of the story. Most of the people around the table promised to give the kid that Birds of Paradise at the end of the tournament if one of them ended up with the card pool the kid registered. Unfortunately, like the normal randomness of real life, this story doesn't get a happy ending. The one person who didn't agree to give the kid his card ended up with that card pool and walked away, pretty happy. But I don't want to focus on that one person. Think about the other people willing to let this kid come home with a great card at their own expense so he could have a wonderful experience. As you know, even the person who wasn't willing to do the same, well, his actions were well within acceptable behavior. So one person plays by the rules and the rest of them are trying their best to make this a great experience. Well, give me that kind of gaming environment any day. So I encourage you all to keep spreading that joy, integrity, and kindness that make the Magic community so great. So here's a generic sign off until I can come up with something interesting.